to the NXT Podcast, your home for weekly NXT reviews and insight.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
Find all of your NXT news, recaps, and analysis right here. So with that being said, we only have one question for you.
Are you ready?
We thought so. Let's get the show started right now.
All right, everyone. This is Memphis Mark coming to you from Mullet Manor. And we've got the review for NXT for 820. And, they start the show off, this doggone parking lot, man. Everybody's getting jumped in the parking lot, but they start the show off with, the ladies coming in, getting ready for their gauntlet match. And Izzy Dame jumps Miss Carmen Petrovich, and before the show, and bam, she is out of the gauntlet match. So, and there's more with that as we get going here, but then they go into Chase U in the ring for kind of a victory party. To let everyone, it was pretty much a thank you Ridge party is what it was. They came through the crowd, and Thea did, and got the crowd all jacked up and got everybody going, and then they went into it and they just kept thanking Ridge and thanking Ridge Holland, and then you've got, of course, the ex-champs are going to come out, Axiom and Nathan Frazier, and, they want their rematch. So, with a little back and forth, they agreed that if you can beat Duke and Riley, hey, you get a chance, possibly at No Mercy. The next PPL, folks, but... they said you can beat our other tag team, then, you get a chance at the champs. And, they kept wondering, okay, we'll do that. And they said, Duke did, and Riley, they kind of jerked their pants off there, and they had their gear already on, and they were ready to go right then. So they wanted to fight right then on the spot. And, you know how it is there. The ref just happened to be there. So we've got a match from the start. And, good match. You know what you're going to get out of Nathan and Axiom. They don't have the size, but they've got the speed, and they can make anything, anybody just about look good. That's the reason they'll be in this business for years and years. So they end up winning this match with it was a kind of a shocker, I guess you would say, but not really. They are the ex-champs. So, and Riley in this match, Riley was thrown over the ropes a couple of times, or at least one I know of. I think it was twice. And, they didn't. The timing was off, so when they went to throw, you could actually tell that he was jumping over the ropes. A little too much selling. But, they'll go over the tape and they'll get that right, because that's going to be the ex-champs getting their chance at Chase U for the belts at No Mercy. And then they've got, Izzy thinks that she's going to get put in the gauntlet match since she knocked someone out of the gauntlet match. And the all-wise, the all-knowing Ava lets them know if Stevie and Mr. Stone, they pick Brinley Reese to replace. So she will replace Carmen in that match. And we go from there. You got this Wendy Choo, Wendy Choo, the new Wendy Choo. The what did Booker call her? The sleepy psycho. So the new look Wendy. I guess I shouldn't say it like that. I guess the new look Wendy Choo. I still like saying it. Anyway, going against Lola Vice, the MMA Latin dancing salsa queen there, and they have a good match, but it's just the timing is off in this match. If these ladies were to have this match 3 times in a row, this third match would probably be the best. And they just, there were some kinks in here, just wasn't what I would expect out of both of these stars. You have to say, the stars, especially with them rebranding Wendy Choo. The match was kind of long, and then they got Kehlani Jordan doing a run-in. And she runs in, and it's real awkward how Wendy Choo ducks and Lola Vice smacks that girl upside the head with a spinning back fist, and that causes a distraction, which, amazing how that happens. And this is another thing that was odd. Wendy Choo picks up her pillow, mind you, and knocks Lola upside the head, and Lola's down for the count. So Wendy Choo wins this match with the belt. And then, of course, there's another altercation after the match with Miss Jordan and Miss Choo. And it is revealed that Wendy had stolen the belt and had hid it in the actual, in the pillow. So therein lies, Miss Jordan gets the belt back. Wendy is mad, and we have a match for No Mercy. Pretty good writing, just poor execution in this match. But then you've got Wes Lee coming out and cutting a promo. They give him a little time with the stick, and he does. He's not whining and or crying or anything, so it was okay. He did a pretty good promo, and of course he cuts his opponents down for in the upcoming main event for the match for a shot at the world title. And he cuts everybody down, and of course he makes a special case to cut down who everybody believes in, Joe Hendry. And Joe Hendry comes back because he hears Wes on the stick, and comes back and says he gonna get him. It's the Scotsman's biggest match, so decent promos there. And then you've got JC Jane and Valen Henry with Jasmine cutting a promo that it had to be an old timer write this promo, because it had shades of old school wrestling when there would be somebody new come into the territory, and maybe back in the day they might have a flashy tights or jackets that they come to the ring, and there'd be some old wrestlers in the territory, and they'd be going, them old flashy boys over there, we're going to whoop them, and that's the way it was back in the day. Well, in this case now, with modern times, it's the D1, D2, and D3, well, the athletes that are coming in, that are getting the NIL deals. And it seems that JC Jane and Valen are a little ticked off about it, because they're kind of old school. And pretty good little promo. Can't really say anything bad about that. So pretty good little promo. Then they go from that to a No Mercy ladies gauntlet elimination match. Whew. That's a lot to say. But yes, these are 3 minutes, every 3 minutes after the original 2 ladies come in and start the match. Every 3 minutes, another person comes in until all 6 ladies are involved in the match. And in this match, look, I like to say when they're good, but when it's not so good, I gotta say, and this one was okay. There were flashes of some good wrestling. But there was also a lot of waiting for people to get in position to pull these moves off, and the timing is everything. And it wasn't that great. But you did have Ren St. Clair, Sol Ruka, Rizzo, Brentley Reese, and Kendall Gray and Jada Parker. And they start off with Ren and Sol. You know, Sol's very strong young lady. She picks a couple girls up a couple times in this thing, does her flips, but her having to do some of her timing. There was a mixed move where she's having to cover up for somebody else's mess up, and that just throws the overall timing off in the match. But it goes off, let me say, with Roxanne, of course, the ladies champ, watching. And Sol pins Rizzo, I believe, for the first one. And then you've got Kendall Gray when she comes in. She's going to pin Brinley. Let me see. When Jada comes in, she pins Kendall, and then Sol pins Ren, and then it's down to Jada and Sol, and with a little stuff going on, Jada's going to win this match, and of course OTM comes out, out the mud. They come out with their member, I guess you would say, their protege, and they cut a good little promo after that also. So, and Jada was doing some high stepping. I like that, anyway, all right. Then you've got EP, you've got Ethan Page, all ego, cutting an interview, and he doesn't want to talk, and he does not believe in Joe Hendry. But you've got all ego out there, and Pete Dunne, he comes over there and says some words and barks and, says he gonna get the bill. So they go from there to old Hank and Tank. We gotta have us some Hank and Tank on here now every doggone week. But we got Hank and Tank going against the OC, the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson. And these guys are such veterans. They can make anybody look good. And they do in this match. They make old Hank and Tank actually look pretty good. Good match. But in this match, we're going to see, I guess you would call it power and fun style of Hank and Tank, because they're big old guys. They're still learning the business, but they've got some talent. They do have some talent, so in this one, they're going to pull off an upset, and I would definitely say an upset, considering they've never won something that big. That's what an upset is. And they have a big deal afterwards. They run out and they run over to Vic over at the desk, and they're kissing all over him and celebrating. And then, of course, the security comes out. Well, they came from security. So, of course, they want to, they're partying and they're happy. And, of course, the OC, the Good Brothers, they're a little ticked off. And, of course, there might be an altercation after the match, but no, because security steps in and lets Hank and Tank party on. And that's what they do. So, so Hank and Tank pull off a big, big upset there. And, after this, you've got an interesting little promo here. I like this. I don't know who's writing for Sean. He may be doing a lot of his own direction. But Sean Spears, the chairman himself, is cutting a little promo, and Anofi and Blade come out. You remember last week there were some words, and of course they have words, and the next thing you know, the camera man or woman, whoever it was, is knocked down. So the camera's on the ground, and you can hear only in the background. They jump Sean Spears. Big deal here, and they put a whooping on him. And then you hear a big thud, a big scream, and then there's Brooks Jensen there, wondering what happened to his mentor. What happened here? What had happened was, though. All right, and then after that, of course, we couldn't go through a whole show without Ava getting at least a couple of spots. So the all-knowing and the all-wise Ava apparently is backstage at a Slipknot concert. And, Slipknot's done some music for the WWE. So, yeah, they're promoting their new tour and getting their stuff ready to go. And Ava is backstage. I'm not sure if her dad was with her, but, yeah. So Slipknot and Ava do a little promo. Well, of course, Slipknot doesn't say anything. He just looks at the camera. But then you go from there. You've got the No Quarter Catch Crew. The Heritage Cup champ now, Charlie Dempsey. And he's cutting a promo, and, Ren chimes in and seems to want to add a little spice to the No Quarter Catch Crew. So she adds her Flava Flav in there, and so we're seeing the comeuppance of Ren St. Clair in this No Quarter Catch Crew. But of course, there is one point though. Charlie does mention Luthez and Billy Robinson, two Hall of Famers, two great wrestlers, and then Ren's got a call like Billy Thez and Lou Robertson, or whatever how she does it. But it's a tribute mocking there, but we'll see how that goes on down the road. But then, because of the way she has been talking, well, you're going to have Oba Femi, the North American champion, come out. And when that big man comes in, the temperature in the room changes. And, Oba comes down there and lets everybody know that, the most prestigious is not the Heritage Cup, but is the North American, his belt. And then if he takes a liking to it, he might just go after that Heritage Cup championship or Heritage Cup and add it to his collection. So you're thinking from then, now we got Tony D. Tony D and the family come out, and Tony comes out and he's like, hey, I'm done with that Heritage Cup. I got my eye on something else. But he does sick his family, Rizzo and his crew, on the No Quarter Catch Crew. So they jump on them, knock them out of the ring. So that leaves Oba Femi, the North American champion, in the ring with Tony D. And of course, Oba, you think, is about to chokeslam him, but no, sir. They're going to give the push to Tony D. And Tony D puts a big old choke slam on the big man and lays him out. So, hey, Tony slams, Oba. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. Matter of fact, there's another Hall of Famer mentioned here, Ron Simmons, big Ron Simmons, because Vic says, damn, so... And then it seems they're doing a lot of combining a bunch of people in some of the promos now. So I guess they're just trying to give everybody a few seconds of TV time, I guess you would say. And they do a little deal where they've got a little of everybody out there. Ren needs to drop the cup off and somebody to watch it. And young OG's there. And then there's somebody here and there's somebody there. And the next thing you know, the Gallus guys are there. And well, so now there's probably going to be Cedric and young OG going against the Gallus next week, is what I'm guessing from what I saw today. So, pretty decent little promo, though. Pretty decent little promo. But then you're going to have the new Clark Kent they're trying to make out. That's right, the new Superman. The Dapper Dab, Dion Lennox, is going against Ashante, the Adonis. He loves the ladies, folks. And so they're having a match against the, Ashanti actually is a veteran, and so he's in there to make Mr. Lennox look good. But you know what, Mr. Lennox is, it's his formal, I think it was with the LA Rams then, but he was, he played a little bit with the Rams, and so just to make it to the NFL, you're a good athlete, but, the guy looked good, he had his moments to where at one time Ashanti does do a big slap upside the head, like, oops, upside the head, And the slap heard all around NXT, but and then Clark Kent there, Mr. Lennox comes back, does some good stuff there, but in the end, he is a rookie, and they're not. When you're a rookie, they can't do you a Goldberg to where you never lose a match. You got to lose some matches, and in this match, they let him look good. Ashanti lets him and helps him look really good, but in the end, Ashanti is going to pull an HBK with the super kick. Yeah, the sweet chin music, and puts Mr. Lennox down, and Ashanti gets the win. So that's a pretty big deal there. So Ashanti getting some TV time himself there. So. Yeah, and then there again, another promo where several people in it. You've got, is it Meta 4? Is it Meta 2? It's just the ladies of Meta 4, so is it Meta 2? But then you've got Lexus King. Stir in the pot. Stir in the pot. So, they cut a little promo there. So, and then, of course, Oro's going to come back in at the end and go, what happened? And they're going to say, just forget about it. But that's a match coming up next week in itself. But now, it's time for the main event. It's time to see who is going to No Mercy and facing the champ, EP, All Ego, which is going to be at the commentator's desk out there with Booker T and Vic. So, of course, they're going to give him some TV time, but it's going to be Wesley against Pete Dunne, against who everybody believes in, Joe Hendry. And they're giving Joe Hendry the push. The TNA guys coming over to NXT. And they're even doing that angle on it with EP being one of the first to come over, and All Ego saying, hey, he's an outsider, considering EP was there 3 weeks before him. Whatever it may be. Good little angle, though, but they're going, this is a no DQ match. So no DQ now. Remember, because you got to have that come into play, and they do. Good match. In this particular match, good match. Pete Dunne, good veteran. Wesley, good vet in himself. And Joe Hendry, that everybody believes in, is from what I hear, is a 10-year vet himself. So good match. Their timing's good. This is a triple threat. So, it's a good match. But in the end there, it looks like who everybody believes in, Joe Hendry, is about to pull it off. It's about to pull it off, but what happens? Mr. All Ego, the champ, pulls the ref out of the ring so he cannot make a pin. Well, now another ref's coming down. Well, now Mr. Page has made it around on the other side, and he's stopping a referee. So we definitely think that now Pete Dunne's going to get the No Mercy shot, but out of nowhere. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. That's right. Trick Williams jumps into the ring, smacks that man upside the head, and bam, Joe Hendry gets the win after Trick shoves the original referee back in, and bam, here we go. There we go. Everybody believes in Joe Hendry. And they're going to give him the push. They're going for it. They're going to give him the melon and see if he can run with it. So, yeah, he gets the win. And so you think we're going off the air with that, and we should, but no. You've got one of the MSK, the one that got kicked in the old kahunas there in the grapefruits. Well, he jumps in and tries to get a little revenge on Mr. Wesley. So that, of course, is going to set up a match next week, or at least at No Mercy. I'm sure they got to have that. So the way they did the writing, the way they did the match, everybody gets an angle out of it to go to the PPL. So everybody's happy. Pete Dunne's got an angle. Joe Hendry, because everybody believes, is now got an angle, and at Wes, everybody has something to do. So everybody should be happy. But that's going to be the show for this week. But I did want to, let me see, I had a couple of things I wanted to say here. Let me pull this up. All right, yeah, here it is. All right, I did not get to say last week, but we did lose a legend, and that was Kevin Sullivan. And, great guy when I was growing up. Brought in the satanic, the dark side of that kind of into the wrestling. Him, Gary Hart, all of that, just great history, man. He went under names like the Boston Battler, the Game Master, Johnny West, of course Kevin Sullivan, the Great Wizard, the Taskmaster, the Prince of Darkness. And he was well under 6 foot, I'm going to say well under 5'10". But he was a wide built, and he was so good in the ring, no moves were really wasted. He was just, he was a thick, he was definitely 230 to 250. And he worked out like when he was in the Memphis territory, still fresh and young with that Boston. That was a terrible Boston accent. But anyway, he was great. He was, the Dungeon of Doom. Him and Mark, I can't remember Big Mark's name. But anyway, great guy. I got to meet him a couple times. Just a nice guy. So, anyway, guys, you know where you can get in touch with me. That's Memphis Mark OG. You can find me anywhere. Love getting your emails and messages through the X. And got something the other day from down in Texas, way down in El Paso. They said it's Jackson and Kyle. I'm terrible with this, but it's really cool how it's spelled. Jax and Kai. That's just, there you go, buddy. That is your name, and I wish my name's Mark, so I guess that's pretty easy, but it's better than trying to learn a name like Poindexter. Or if your name was Wellington. That's, my name was 4 letters. It's simple. And that's what I needed. But guys down in Texas, hope y'all are having a good day. And we'll get down there as soon as we can. And that's going to do it for this week, guys. So this is Memphis Mark. And if you can, you know how this ends every week. If you can, get out there and help a shelter. Do what you can, when you can, while you can. And spay and neuter, as always. But this is Memphis Mark, and I'm out.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.